Hi, everyone. This is Dr. Christina Rahm, and I'm so glad to be here today. I had such a great time in Europe, and I wanted to thank everyone that I saw there and that I spent time with, as well as the rest of the Root community that I didn't get to see. We have a lot of stuff to do today and a lot of stuff to talk about. I know I'm in all black. It's because we have photo shoots that we're doing right now in the office. So I just walked in and I haven't had time to change. I was going to wear something different. And the reason I'm telling you that is today I know we've got a lot of visitors. And as a scientist that is behind these products, I want to welcome all the new people that are on this call, as well as the existing Root community. We have a company that has been focused on, regardless of the diagnosis and regardless of what goes on in people's life, how can we support people to be the very best version of who they are? And today we're going to talk about one of our new products, as well as I will discuss some of the existing products that we have and how we can all work together across the world to really be the best person that we should be. So I'm going to start with the medical disclaimer. The information provided is for educational purposes. It is not intended for medical advice or a substitute for medical advice of a physician or other qualified healthcare professional. You should not use this information for diagnosing a health or fitness problem or disease, and you should always consult with a doctor or other healthcare professionals for medical advice or information about diagnosis and treatment. And I want to add to that we cannot promise we prevent anything. We are here as a company, again, to make each individual that we work with part of our community, which entails emotional, mental, physical, spiritual health all the way around, and making us the best person that we can be in this life so that we can impact each other in a positive way. And today we're going to talk about our new product called Sculpt. I have to say this is one of the funner products that I've worked on, and I've worked on it for a couple of years. I've worked on other weight loss products in my career, but this is one that I was really interested in being part of an organization like the Root community, where we are helping people not just look better, but actually support their overall health. You can't prevent everyone from gaining weight. You can't make people eat right. You can't make people work out and sleep, but I wanted to design something that could really assist people's bodies in supporting healthy weight loss and targeting basically different types of insulin and glucose so that the body could suppress the appetite and burn fat. That was my target in this focus. The proprietary blend also has multifaceted, patented, and patent pending technology. I actually partnered with an ingredient where we were able to get clinical data, and we are able to talk about that. In some countries like Germany, we have to be very careful about making any claims, but I can discuss the clinical data that is within this product. Furthermore, we're gathering patient registry information and case studies so that we can continue to help the world and continue to do research on every product that we have. So I want to start with the Sculpt label. And I think we have the English version as well as the German version. Patrick, I'm going to stop really quick because people are asking if the speakers are muted. Can you hear me? Is everything okay?
Yeah,
I can hear you. Yeah.
Let me check
Okay.
on speakers just to make sure.
I'm being sensitive about it because I want to make sure. Okay, they can hear. I know that some people are new, Patrick, so it may take a second for everyone to understand how we do the Root use. But let's start with the Root Sculpt label for the United States. As you can see, InnoSlim is in it at 500 milligrams, and this particular product, which is notoginseng and astragalus, is something that I've studied for years. I've used these two ingredients in a lot of products that I've worked on. I wanted to be able to partner. I could have done this formula and brought those into this formula, but I wanted clinical data so that when you guys speak to your audience or customers, you can talk about the clinical data that was within this product. Gymnema Sylvestre, which we will talk about later, in some countries is classified as a drug for diabetes. Right now, the only country where it's classified as that in our community is in in Switzerland. And so that is something that we are working on. I wanted to bring that up in the beginning because this is a very important ingredient, or I would have left it out. I did not want to leave it out because it's part of some patents that I've written, and it's something that can really impact overall healthcare. Ginger root is another key ingredient we will be talking about today. Again, I've worked on a lot of products with this ingredient added. Valerian root and white kidney bean, same thing. That was very important to include this in this particular formula so that our goal is not just looking at people so they can lose weight, but overall health. And I want to say that one more time. The goal of what we're doing is overall health. I'm from the pharmaceutical and the biotech industry, and we usually go after an indication when you work on a product. For this product is meant for almost everyone. You do have to consult with a doctor. We tell people to take 1 capsule morning and 1 in the evening. However, some people are taking 2 in the morning, and some people take 1 in the morning and 1 at lunch. So the best way to take it, if you're looking at following instructions, is in the AM and the PM. I personally took 1 in the morning. I think a couple of days I took 2, but while I was using this product, I usually focused on 1. So I want to say this to people, not everyone is going to need 2 capsules, but if your ultimate goal is to try to help your body lose weight, it may be your optimal dosing. Again, we don't make promises. We're just trying to teach people how to utilize this program. And we do have a whole program around this. And Patrick, I'm not sure when we're launching that, but I think we're launching it by next week, so that everyone can have a program they can follow while they're taking the Sculpt label. Patrick, is it next week that we will be launching it?
The 30-day program?
Yes.
Yeah, so we're just waiting on translations. I should have it done, so I'm hoping to have it up by the end of the week. It'll be on the back office. We'll put it on your Instagram so everyone can download it and use it.
Okay, so I want to go, thank you, Patrick. I want to go to the label and talk about this. It's designed to assist and support healthy weight loss. That's why this was all designed. Again, and I want to say it, healthy weight loss. There are a lot of people in our world that have obesity. I was just at the World Economic Forum, and it was one of our hot topics. I spoke about this and explained while I was speaking in Africa at the African Summit, as well as the Greek Summit. I spoke about how important it is to have healthy weight, because when you are overweight, that impacts your heart, impacts your brain, impacts your overall blood as far as your system. It also impacts enzymes and lymphatic system. The whole part of who you are when you are overweight, you have to work even harder to do things. So it was really important to come out with something which is targeting appetite suppression and includes multifaceted technology that can really impact people. It's hard to regulate and control glucose. Sometimes you need help. There's a lot of pharmaceutical products that are out there, and we're not trying to compete with those. We understand that people need products for diabetes that are sometimes prescription. They also need help with insulin. We understand that. But we also do know that there are some side effects that go along with some of the medication that's currently available. So we wanted to be able to use this so that people could have an option throughout the world at how they want to try to lose weight and how they want to support their great bodies that they have. This isn't intended for people under 18. We have had some people we know that have chosen to take this even though they are under 18, but you have to understand when you're taking this product, you need to also be eating right, sleeping right, and working out if you want to get the optimal advantages from this particular product that we have. And I would say that applies across all the root products. Let's go on to the German label. It's the same label. You guys will see on the label that we have kosher, halal, non-GMO, GMP certifications. We wanted to make sure that we are able to use those. We will talk about the ingredients that are listed and how they're vegan and how they're there again to support your overall health as we get into the slide deck. So let's walk through the ingredients. Again, you've got Gymnema Sylvestre, ginger root, white kidney bean, Valerian root, and InnoSlim, and we will talk more about InnoSlim later. There's 60 capsules in a bottle, And I tried to really make sure that when I was selecting the ingredients, I was very selective where I got them. For example, Gymnema Sylvestre, you can only get in India, Africa, as well as Australia. So a lot of people ask what I do when I go to countries, why I talk to different politicians or different governments. Part of it is sourcing. The other part is working on a regulatory perspective. And as a scientist, it's really important. And as a company, it's really important that we take a stance that we're bringing in products that are healthy for these countries so that we're helping people all over the world. So to do that, we have a lot of dialogue that goes on. And I was extremely careful where I source these ingredients. So I will say this, it took a lot longer to make this product because of the sourcing and the ability for me to get it. We have already almost run out. We actually ran out in Europe and we're sending product over and we are producing more right now. But the downtime or the time it takes for me to get some of the ingredients in here can be up to 6 months. So I think that matters to you all, and I want to explain that. It would be a lot easier to be able to source ingredients that I could get just in the United States or very quickly because it wasn't important where I source them. Part of what I do as a scientist is being able to review where we should get products and then how we should source them. The other part is how do I make the formulas together so that they are more bioavailable for the body than other products and more efficacious and safe. Safety is a major thing for me because working in this industry as well as pharmaceutical and biotech, I've had so many products that I've worked on that have helped people, but you have to make sure when you're producing a product that it's safe for a general population. So that was a major concern. And especially because I knew there were some pharmaceutical products out there that had side effects that were harming people. I wanted this to be a comparison as a natural product that could help people without all the side effects. Let's go on to the first ingredient that was so important to me. So Gymnema Sylvestre, it's a woody vine native to India, Africa, and Australia. It's been traditionally used in medicine actually for years. Actually, a lot of the tribes and the different organizations throughout that part of our world use this to treat things like diabetes and weight management. So, you know, in the United States and predominantly in Europe, we have a lot of pharmaceutical things we use. But in places like India and Africa and Australia and Asia, they will use a lot of natural products. And this is something that has been used for a long time to really help things that have to do with insulin, diabetes, and weight management. It helps, this particular ingredient helps reduce the absorption of sugar in the intestines. And some studies show that the compounds that are in there, they're actually bind to the taste receptors on the tongue and prevents the sensation of sweetness, and it reduces people's desire for sweet food. So I want to say that again. One of the top reasons I chose this is not just because it was used for diabetes and weight management in other countries, but because I wanted people that had an issue with carbs or with sweet food to not crave that anymore. And there's been some studies that show that this compound can actually help people not crave the carbs or not crave the sweets. And that's really, really important. The second reason it was so important is because there's been studies that show that it may impact insulin levels and sensitivity. And insulin is a hormone that plays a crucial role in glucose metabolism. So there were some animal studies that showed that this may enhance insulin action, which is really important because you want to try to better control your sugar levels in the blood. One of the reasons people gain weight is because this level is not controlled. So that was extremely important, which is why I could not get rid of this key ingredient in this particular formula. It was very important. Again, we wanted to reduce the cravings for sweet food. So I chose something that could help with that and assist the body so it wasn't craving sweet food all the time. And I also wanted something that was known for basically suppressing the appetite and helping reduce the food intake. Because one of the problems is people are trying to lose weight, but they're craving food, they're craving sweets, they're craving bread. And I wanted to make sure that people could take something that would lead to basically not making them crave that all the time. Like I can tell you, since I've been taking the product, I don't crave it as much. I still like to eat a little bit of chocolate, but I'm not constantly wanting to eat, and I'm not constantly wanting to have sweets and carbs. So I wanted to make this really informative because I feel like one of the things that happens in the nutraceutical industry throughout the world is we talk about the good things about the product, but we don't discuss what could be a potential negative to a product. And I don't want to ever do that as a company or as a scientist. So I want to talk about side effects that could occur. So because this product has been studied to lower blood sugar, we do know that with some people, they have to be cautious because this can lead to low blood sugar. It's one of the issues with some of the pharmaceutical products that are out there, because when a product works, it really works, right? But the issue is you do want to make sure you're eating. So I want to say this again. You do want to make sure you're eating something. I recommend protein and I recommend vegetables. If your protein choice are nuts or tofu, it's fine. You don't have to eat meat. You don't have to eat fish, but I want to make sure everyone is eating at least 3 small meals a day so that your blood sugar levels don't get too low. It can interact with medications that treat diabetes. There have been a lot of people that have taken this particular ingredient while they were on diabetic medication and it helped. But I wanted to make sure that I brought this up so that people would understand, so they're cautious and they pay attention if they're already on diabetic medication. It can cause nauseousness or upset stomach. It did not cause any with me. It has not caused any with Ted or Clayton or the other people that have used it. But if you use it in really large amounts, which is why I don't want people taking over 2 a day, it can cause this. And then in rare cases, and it's very rare, it can cause itching and swelling. You would know within 30 minutes and you would want to seek medical attention immediately. Everything from turmeric curcumin, which is one of our main ingredients in our products, to black cumin seed, to aloe vera can cause that as well. But I wanted to make sure I brought it up because I always want you guys to pay attention to what's going on when you take a product. And I always want you to pay attention to your body because, again, your body is a temple. And it's so important that you love your body and you pay attention to every aspect that's going on. Ginger root was the second thing that I chose because I thought that it was extremely helpful. It's been used for centuries for traditional and non-traditional medicine, to be honest. I say traditional and non-traditional because I want to point out in some countries, nutraceuticals are traditional medication. In other countries, like the United States, we consider it non-traditional. Ginger is used in a lot of different pharmaceutical products, as well as a lot of different nutraceutical products. It was used in this one because of appetite suppression. I wanted to make sure, because the European Journal of Nutrition finds that consuming this powder can help decrease the feelings of hunger and can actually help people contribute to eating less. You're not consuming as much because you're not as hungry. We also know that ginger can help basically when you're nauseous. It can help you feel better. Like I took ginger while I was pregnant with my children. It helped me not get sick. It helped me control my nauseousness. And it was very important for me to take. It helped me a lot. It has a thermogenic effect, and that means it basically is essential and can help with boosting metabolism rate, which is one of the things that I think has really helped with, like when I took the product with me with losing weight. Every single person is going to be different, but this particular ingredient can lead to calories burning faster and calories burning more efficiently. And that means your body is actually using it to be able to control what's going on and helping the body really get to what it needs to do. And I'm going to say this again. I love the fact that we have this company that we don't have to make claims. We show people the data, we share the ingredients, and we help their bodies do what they should do, which in a lot of instances when people are overweight, their body needs to lose some of that weight so that they can operate and be more effective and efficient and can have a better life and lifestyle. It also improves digestion. I talked a little bit about that earlier. It can contribute indirectly to weight management because it helps with the bloating and the discomfort. It really can help the overall digestion of the body. And I don't have it on here, but also it's known to help with the microbiome of the body, which then impacts the heart and the neurotransmitters because they're all connected. It also can help regulate blood sugar. Again, you're going to see this throughout the deck, and you'll understand why the different ingredients were chosen, because I really wanted to make sure that we were controlling the appetites and suppressing and reducing the cravings. The cravings are what make you eat late at night. The cravings are what make you keep eating when you're full. And because your body is saying, okay, I'm full, but I'm craving this, I want this. And the truth is, if it isn't good for your body, then you simply don't need to eat it. And this is one of the contributing factors to the success, I think, of this, of the product Root. It has an anti-inflammatory effect. I think most of you guys know that about ginger root. A lot of people that study nutrition understand that it possesses anti-inflammatory properties that contribute to overall health and can help again with weight management. Possible side effects of ginger root. And again, I just want to bring up every possible thing that could happen. It can cause heartburn or bloating. With most people, it's mild, and a lot of people, it never happens. For me, for example, it helped me when I was pregnant with any kind of heartburn or bloating. It helped me not be nauseous. Every individual is different. It can interact with certain medication. If you take it at a high dose, it can interact with diabetes and high blood pressure. So you need to make sure you consult with your healthcare provider if this is something that you're worried about. And it can cause, like everything in the world, it can cause an allergic reaction. You're going to see this on almost every slide that I show, because again, I do not want to be a typical company. I want to be a company that we tell the good and the bad, and everyone looks in to their own health before they make a decision on what they need to put inside their body. It can influence blood sugar levels, so you want to monitor that. And what I mean by that, this is so effective, these ingredients, that you have to make sure that your blood sugar levels don't go too low, because you have to eat protein again and eat vegetables while you're doing this. I don't want to see people taking the Sculpt product and not doing that. They have to pay attention. You don't want to take this product and just not eat all day. You've got to have something in your body. So let's go into white kidney beans. White kidney beans contain a natural substance, phosphorylation. I never say it right because I have a speech impediment, but it's believed to contribute to weight loss because it basically helps a digestive enzyme come into play and be active, and it really assists the overall body. This was really an important ingredient. Someone asked me, did you really need to put white kidney beans in it? And I said, absolutely, because I wanted to really have something that inhibited alpha amylase, because it's really important to do that. You want the enzyme to help you with the digestive process. And in some people, that doesn't work effectively. So it was really important to have this particular ingredient in the product to assist with breaking down complex carbs. And I want to say this again. I wanted this ingredient to assist by breaking down complex carbs. Who eats carbs? So if you tell me you're gluten-free, you still eat carbs, right? Gluten-free bread still has carbs. It's really important because carbs make you gain weight. They turn into sugar. They really can cause a lot of problems throughout the body. They cause inflammation, and I really wanted help really breaking that down. And this key ingredient was super important to that, more than probably any of the other ingredients as it pertains to carbs. It reduces the absorption of calories. Again, it's alpha amylase, which is really important. That's in this ingredient. So it helps the digestive system really break things down and work more effectively. If you can't break things down, you can't really lose weight like you're supposed to. You can't maintain your weight like you're supposed to. And I want to stop right there, and I want to say this. A lot of people talked about the fact that they lose weight, but then they gain it back. You want to have a weight maintenance product that really helps not just with the weight loss, but maintaining that and keeping that into play, and not just a quick fix and then you gain a ton of weight back, right? You want something that can be extremely important as it pertains to that. Now, in Germany, again, I want to state this, we have to be very careful with this particular product and with all of our products. In Germany, you can't say prevent. In Germany, your before and after pictures that you show, and we want people to have before and after pictures for the patient registry and the case study. But if you use those to sell, you've got to make sure you're not making any claims. We try to follow every rule and every regulatory body of every country. So you want to be extremely careful in Germany how you are presenting this particular product. Again, helping people be a healthy weight is something that we are dedicated to at the Root brands. We also have to make sure we share this appropriately. And as a scientist, I want to make sure I'm giving the good and the bad facts about all of the things that we're doing at this particular company with this product. It does regulate sugar, which is extremely important. We want to be able to stabilize sugar levels so that your appetite again is controlled and you don't crave the high sugars or the high calorie food. So I want to explain that too. A lot of people don't realize this, but their brain, the neurotransmitters in their body makes them crave sugar, makes them crave eating things that are high calorie and really not good for them. And this particular ingredient is something that can really assist the body in that endeavor, so that's not happening. We really want people to only eat when they need to eat. I always say this, are you eating to live or living to eat? You should be eating so you live and have the best life possible. That's how you should be eating. It also helps with making your body feel full. So even though you may not be full, it's making you feel full. And I say this too as a scientist, you don't need to eat till you're bloated. You don't need to eat and then you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so full, I feel sick. And I can't tell you how many times I've done that in my life. I will say this, on this particular product, on Sculpt, I'm not as hungry. I do not eat as much. I take Clean Slate in the morning. I take Zero In every morning, at least one, usually one, because two makes me too hyper. But I know Clayton takes 4 or 5, and a lot of you guys do too. I only take 1 or 2 typically. And then I take Restore. I take Relive Greens. I take Immune Defense Shield and Natural Barrier Support. I do all of that. And I have to say, when I take this product with our other products, I'm usually not hungry. But I will make myself, and I think Patrick knows this, and Ted and Clayton and everyone, I'll make myself take a couple of bites. Patrick sees me. I'm like, can I have a couple of bites of avocados? I don't want my blood sugar to get too low where I feel faint. And it's really important that you guys follow those guidelines. If you're not hungry, please eat a couple of bites of something healthy that's good for you. An avocado, a couple of bites of an avocado, couple of nuts or whatever. You still need to eat even though you're not hungry. So I want to make sure that that is clear when I'm giving this discussion. What are the possible side effects of white kidney beans? You can feel like you are bloated or have gas or diarrhea if you take too much. I kept the level down because I didn't want that to happen, just so everyone knows. I wanted to make sure that did not happen. So I used a lower dose with this, but it's something that can occur. So pay attention to that. Like every single ingredient we have, you can have an allergic reaction. So please make sure if there's anything that happens like itching and swelling, that you pay attention to that. Most of you would probably know that because you've had kidney beans, you've eaten those in your lifetime. Like I've eaten a lot during my life, but you want to make sure you're paying attention to that. And then nutrient absorption, you want to make sure that you're incorporating other things nutritionally into your diet, because you can have deficiencies when you stop eating. This goes back to what I keep saying. Make sure you're still eating protein and vegetables along with taking this product and the other root products. Next, we're going to talk about Valerian Root. This has been a product that I've had so many of my friends and family members and actually other doctors and scientists that have talked to me about Valerian Root. I love using it. It's used for a lot of different things in countries all over the world. It has medicinal properties. One of the things it's most known for is stress and sleep regulation, which I think is extremely important. This helps you not, it can help you, because I can't make a claim, it can help you not feel as stressed. It can help you with sleep. It can regulate this, and even helping with chronic stress. There's tons of studies that show how this helps with managing that. And I thought that was extremely important, because in order to lose weight and maintain weight loss, you don't need to be under stress. Stress raises the inflammation of the body, and then you're not able to function and do everything as good as you could without the stress. Stress makes your whole body inflamed. So it was really important to use this. Also, as you guys know, to lose weight and maintain weight loss, you need to be able to sleep. So I wanted that balance, and I wanted to improve mood even more than with Zero In. So I put an ingredient in here that could directly or indirectly impact that, and also impact basically people from eating emotionally. And I want to explain that. A lot of people in the world, when they're not happy, when they're under stress, they don't even realize it. It's a coping mechanism. they eat to cope. And this particular ingredient, I was hoping would help with that. And there was a study that is at the bottom. I want you guys to look at. There's actually numerous studies, but this particular study talks about including a reduction in body weight gain, food intake, fat extraction rate, adipose tissue weight, number and size, as well as hepatic lipid metabolites. That's really important. It was known in this study to really show that it helped the mice, even the mice that had a high fat diet. And I want to say that I'm not telling you guys to go eat badly. You need to eat healthy, but just know this particular ingredient can help even when you overeat or eat the wrong food. What are the possible side effects of valerian root? I kept the amount low in this particular product. I do have valerian root in one of the patents that was approved for sleep and for flight and travel. And I will say this, I was sleep deprived on this last trip. I think I went a night and a half or 2 nights without sleep. And then but I was, I had been taking this product. I don't take it every day, but it helped me when I got back. I did take one to help me basically be able to return to work, because I think valerian root in my patents, I know I put it as something that could help with like jet lag and stuff like that. So next time, Patrick, you're traveling, even if you don't need to lose weight, this is something that could help you with that adjustment. It can cause drowsiness and sedation, so I kept the amount lower so that it would not cause that. The goal was the stress and the mood to improve that. It can cause GI distress, because some people are allergic to it or their stomach, it bothers their stomach, so pay attention to that. It can cause headaches or dry mouth. I do feel like I sometimes have a little bit of dry mouth. I have not had headaches from this. It can also cause you to be restless or excited or insomnia. It can do that. It can do the reverse, right? So you just have to pay attention. And again, this is why I would prefer everyone start with 1 tablet until they go to the 2 tablets. They need to start with 1 so they see how their body is reacting. InnoSlim. Okay, so this is a particular product that was extremely important. And I told you guys because I've worked in China, because I've worked a lot in the Asian countries, I've worked a lot with both of these particular ingredients. Aspergillus membranaceus is a member of the legume family, just so you guys know, and it helps with metabolic support. It helps with reducing inflammation. It improves insulin sensitivity, and again, it helps with stress management. And it was really important. You can only find this, the good ingredients, you can find it all over, but usually you source it from China, Mongolia, or Korea, because those are your 3 top places you can source this product, which is what I did. Also Panax notoginseng, which a lot of you guys are familiar with that. It's classified as a type of ginseng, but it's a particular type of ginseng, and it's usually found in the Asian countries. So again, this goes back to sourcing and how we find the right ingredients that can help people throughout the world. It does help with anti-inflammation. It really helps the inflammation go down in the body. It can help regulate blood sugar, improve lipid metabolism, and enhance basically circulation in the body, which is really important, because a lot of times your circulation goes down as your metabolism goes down. So I really wanted to improve the circulation, and I wanted to make sure it was considered an adaptogenic. So you guys know we have 0N, and I like to work with adaptogenics. This is something that really helps the body adapt to stress and stress management. It's linked to healthy weight management. I almost put this particular ingredient in 0N. I chose other ones for other reasons, but this is something I wanted to use in a product. And because it was in the InnoSlim, which was patented and trademarked, I thought it was really important for us to put into Sculpt. What are the possible side effects of InnoSlim? InnoSlim can do basically what the other ingredients can do. You can have an allergic reaction, so you want to pay attention to that. You can have GI distress, so you guys want to pay attention to that as well. It has not happened to any of us in the office, but that doesn't matter. That doesn't mean it won't happen to someone out in the field, so pay attention to it. It can interact with other medication. It's not typical, but it can. So for example, ginseng, if you use it at a high dose, can interact with blood pressure medication. I've taken ginseng my whole life. I've been on blood pressure medication before. It did not interfere, but that's me. So every single person is going to be different. It can affect blood pressure, as you see at the bottom. It actually can lower it. Again, you're talking about ingredients that can make blood pressure go lower rather than higher. So you want to pay attention. For me, that's good because I've always had higher blood pressure, but everybody is different. So just pay attention to those different things when you're taking this product. So let's talk about how InnoSlim works in the body. It burns calories and reduces calorie intake. It reduces also the transport of the intestines through the bloodstream. So basically it's helping glucose work correctly. Because one of the problems with glucose in your body as you age or as you have autoimmune disorders or diseases or epigenetics, it just doesn't work as well, right? So we're trying to get the glucose monitoring to work effectively, just like the insulin in the body. It can basically have multiple effects on the energy network in the body, which regulates basically what's happening in the expenditure. You want your energy to work to burn food. You don't want to take something that's basically making your body work not as good. You want it to work more effectively, and that's what this particular ingredient does. It also increases basically the level of the brain that causes the decrease in the weight and body weight. And let me explain that. It helps the body communicate so that fat is being synthesized in a better way and increases the energy metabolism. That's why a lot of you guys that are taking this product are saying that you've never felt so better, so good in your life, that you have more energy. It's because of one of the things that's happening as it adapts in the body. It's really increasing the energy, like I said, in the metabolism of the body. So, if you can look at this, I wanted to show this because I think it's important to show exactly the studies and the mechanism of action. And I just put out InnoSlim. We also can show this with the other ingredients that were added. But I want to point to the fact that if you look at this, we're talking about the brain and the whole body metabolism. Your brain is really a starting point because your brain has to have the signaling that says, you don't need to eat. Don't worry about what's going on. You've really got to have your body work right. And what do I mean by that? So your brain is focused on all these different things, and you've got to get your brain focused on really what's happening inside the body to metabolize things. So I think that's extremely important. The muscle, the liver, and the fat tissue, you want to increase the fat burning in the liver and in the skeletal muscle. That's really hard to do. And a lot of the pharmaceutical products out there are doing that. But I wanted something naturally that could help with that. And to do that, you've got to really uptake the glucose in the muscles and the fat cells. And I want to say that again. You've really got to have the enzymes working and the uptake. So all of that is working synergetically together. This product to me, again, was not about just weight loss. It was about the enzymes in the body, making the body work more effectively. And I want to make sure you guys know by increasing the HIF1 in the muscles in the liver, this helps production overall for calories and oxidative levels. That's very important because you want to increase the oxidative levels. And then it also increases GLUT4, which is the muscle and fat tissue. And this causes, again, the glucose uptake in muscles and fat cells. And again, you also want to show that you're lowering fatty acid synthesis. This is all important as you're increasing your calorie and what is burning. So many people don't understand that if you can do that naturally in your body starts actually doing it on its own. So I've had people ask me, can we stop taking this product after, 90 days? That's going to be up to each individual, but the goal is to get the body to work more effectively. You're going to decrease glucose absorption. You can see that at the bottom, and you're going to decrease appetite. That is the focus. The clinical studies around this particular ingredient showed that it was able to do that. So let's go into more of those studies and what was found. And I will say I consulted with the attorneys in Germany, and we are able to talk about the studies. That's something that we are able to discuss. This particular study on InnoSlim and glucose absorption in the intestines, the CACO2 cells is what we call them, showed that basically it was helping with the glucose absorption again. And this showed an environmental setup involving treating the cell monolayer with this ingredient and assessing its effect on glucose transport. The control group exhibited a steady state. So steady state means it kept working, right? That's what a steady state is. Rate of glucose transport. It measured in nanomoles per minute across CACO2 monolayers. InnoSlim demonstrated a significant inhibitory effect, resulting in a 42% reduction in glucose absorption in the cells. So I want to say that again, resulting in a 42% reduction in glucose absorption in the cells. That's huge. So you go from being here to 42%, your body is absorbing the glucose and your body's working more effectively. So when people say, how did you lose weight? The answer is your body started being able to really affect the glucose absorption in the cells, and you were able to increase that by 42%. That's huge. It also showed that the concentration specifically of glucose transport were reduced to 97%, 58%, and 52% of the original control rate, respectively. This suggested a dose-dependent impact in InnoSlim on reducing glucose uptake activity in intestinal cells. What does that mean? That means the higher the dose, the more it did it. However, I'm going to say it again. I would prefer people not to go over the 2 pills a day. I think it's very important. You don't want to just lose tons of weight. You want to do it healthy, and you want to do it in a stable way so that you keep the weight off, and so your body is at the best weight possible. Being skinny and being little does not make you beautiful. It does not make you happy. You want to be at a healthy weight for your body so you can live the best life possible. The summary of this study really showed that it indicated that InnoSlim reduced glucose absorption. Can you go back to the other slide, please, Taylor? Not Taylor, Tiger. I wasn't done. I want to make sure I point something out. The expression of key protein involved in the process is really important. If you look at the bottom line and it talks about sodium glucose co-transporter 1, I want to explain that in your intestines, there's all these transporters that are transporting what happens. To get to lose weight, you've got to really impact that, and you've got to impact the expression in the cells so that the receptors are working more effectively as it pertains to weight management. And I think that's why this particular ingredients really helped with the weight loss and the glucose control and overall suppression management. But your numbers are huge. I mean, you have up to 97% decreases in some areas, up to 70% in others, and 57 and then 42. So you've got a lot of changes that are fluctuating on this. In this study, this shows the effect of InnoSlim on glucose absorption in fat 3T3L1 cells. So on the study of this, it really shows again glucose absorption in fat cells. It's really pretty simple. They looked at different treatments and what was happening, and they looked at the rate. I'm just going to say this because this number is crazy in my opinion, but in particular, the glucose transport and adipocytes significantly increased to 235% of the original control. And then your pre-adipocytes, they increased by 115%. That's huge. So it's phenomenal that you're able to see the controls and then what happened, and you can see the activity. I am not used to working in clinical trials where we see results like this, but if you look at the summary of it, it's really just helping modulate the glucose of the fat cells. It's looking at really getting a pH balance and the environment being stable and being happy, and then your body's kicking into gear and it's really working effectively to really help the overall body. There's a lot on this particular slide right here, and I'm going to apologize for that. I know it's a lot. Can you go back? Thank you, Tiger. I know it's a lot, but I'm going to point out some key things that I think are really important for you guys to take away from this. The modulation of the body and in the human genome and what's happening is extremely important. And basically, you're trying to get your enzymes to work. So InnoSlim increases basically these enzymes and the ability of the body to really regulate, right? And to work. Your body has these codes. And your genetic codes are one thing, but the body also kind of communicates with each other on what needs to happen. And it's really important that the body uses the different exomes and exocytes in the body to really work in a catalytic effect so that they can really burn fat and burn metabolism. There's a lot of big words in here, but if you look at it, you're literally looking at mitochondria target sequencing. And you're looking at really extending some of the enzymes and transmitters in the body so that they work more effectively, so that they are working in a way that they would work when they're like 16, 17, and 18. And we can't claim we're reversing it. But what we're really trying to do is get the body to work more effectively like you were 16. When I was 16, I could eat as much as I wanted, right? And I didn't sit around and think, oh my gosh, I'm going to eat like 5 Big Macs from McDonald's, but I would run track, I played volleyball, I cheerleaded, and I would want to eat. You want and I didn't gain weight. I was about the size I am right now. You want your body to go back to that. You want the enzymes to be working more effectively. You want all of your different groups where are transmitted, even your P450 system, your IL-2, your IL-4, your beta oxidation of fatty acids, all of it you want to work effectively. And that's what this talks about. You're welcome to take a picture. We can go into more of it later. I am going to talk with the doctor groups more about it so they can explain it to everyone. But the summary is your body starts working more effectively because of the ingredients you're giving it. And then you start burning fat and your metabolism works in a more effective way. So let's go on to the next slide. There's a lot of stuff to go over here. And again, we want to look at why this particular ingredient is so important. And I would say this, the other products that we have along with in Sculpt also do a lot of these things, but I wanted you guys to be able to have this so that you could talk about it. My next step will be to really, I don't want to say dumb this down, but to make it more understandable for a general population, because these are scientific words that really aren't that helpful for your customers or for you. So I'm going to try to just go through all of it again and talk to you guys about what's really happening in your body when you take these products. You really are trying to get your insulin to work right. Like I said, you're trying to get your fatty acid synthesis to work right, your metabolism, and it's really important. To do that, you've got to target your short chain fatty acids and your long chain. You're trying to get your enzymes to work in a more complicit way and more effective way. And so this particular product was able to do that. And we showed it through different types of scientific studies and nutritional status. It also is helping you look at the sensitivity in your body. So some people have sensitivity to certain foods and their body basically becomes inflamed. This is trying to regulate that as well and inhibit anything from going on in the body that could cause you not to lose weight. At the same time, regulating the sugar and regulating the carbs and insulin of the body. And that's really what all of this says. It just says it in a more complex way. It does include, again, targeting the mitochondria targeting sequences, which is really important because you want to target that so that the body is working like a well-tuned machine. We talk about mitochondria when we talk about NAD. Somebody asked me, is it really important? Would it help to take the immune defense shield with this product? Absolutely, I would recommend that because you're getting the support from NAD as well as quercetin and the other vitamins and minerals while you're taking it. It's also important to me to detox before and after you're doing things like this. You know, when we launched Clean Slate, there were a lot of people that doubted that the product worked, and then it helped people throughout the world. But one of the things that's the hardest to do is to basically take fat cells and get rid of heavy metals, and the fat cells hold on to stress, the fat cells hold on to heavy metals, pollution, all these different things that make you gain weight and make you inflamed. So even though you're taking things like Clean Slate and Clean Spirit, you need other things that can really help unblock that. And so the combination of these products together, I think, are extremely important. So let's go on to the next slide. We're going to talk a little bit about placebo-controlled double-blind trials, and that's going to be in a second. You can go back really quick. I'll go through this one. I think I want to say this. This is very important, but these are two classes of glucose carriers that are described in mammalian cells. And basically this just shows, again, your glucose transport. I don't want to spend a lot of time on this except for to say InnoSlim decreased the intestinal glucose absorption by 48%. And it down-regulated the transcription of SGLT1 by 25%. And that's important because you really are trying to effectively inhibit glucose uptake from the intestines so that the body is working effectively. You also want to increase glucose absorption, which is called GLUT4. And that's important because in the muscles and fat cells, you want to help them work more effectively. And this did this by 50 to 68%. Again, I want to go back to that. Priscilla asked me a question about the fat cells holding on to things. And it's really hard to impact fat cells. You have a certain number of fat cells in your body. There's different things where you can take them out, but it's very hard. So what you want to do is basically reduce them and get the toxins out and support the body. And I think this is a contributing factor that can help with that. And I'm hoping to see good results in the community because of what we've developed, not just from this product, but by using the Trinity and Relive Grains and Immune Defense Shield. Adding to that with this impacting SGLT1, I think is extremely important. I feel like I've given you guys a huge science lesson, and I apologize, there's so many words, but I think it's important that you keep going back to the fact that this is able to enhance the overall body, so it's able to increase. When you see numbers like 42% and 50% and 68%, and it pertains to your body working better, I think that's extremely important for you to understand. Listen, these are great numbers that actually help things work better. I do think by taking Clean Slate and Immune Defense Shield and Relive Greens and the other products, it helps even more. And I wanted to make sure I added that because we've had people on these products for so many years, and we're just trying to increase so they're better every day. So everything we're adding onto this is for the purpose of the body really working more effectively. So we're going to go to the human trials, which is what I'm really wanted to make sure that I showed you guys. We do have double-blind randomized placebo-controlled crossover trials on this product. And this talks about the fact that they looked at BMI, body fat, they looked at triglyceride levels, they looked at obese subjects, they looked overall at what happens with this supplementation. And I think we're going to see even better results with the other ingredients that were added and the way this was manufactured and made. We will have those coming out later, but there was a trial that was double-blind, randomized placebo control, and it had a crossover design with no restrictions on calorie intake. Basically, it showed that people were able to lose weight even when they had more calories, but it was able to burn calories even more when they had a lower caloric intake. So I want to explain that. The calorie intake in the study was 1,600 calories. And I do want to tell you guys, that's important for you to note because I need people able to eat the calories. It was about 400 to 600 calories higher than a typical weight loss human trial. So I want to explain that. A lot of weight loss trials, they recommend that people are at 1,200 calories a day. A lot of people eat 2,000 calories a day or 2,500. Some people eat 800. That's really not enough. You really need to have at least 1,000 to 1,200. But in this trial, they were at 1,600 calories. So that gives you an idea of how many calories would be a good mark for a lot of people. They had 21 subjects in the trial that took InnoSlim for 12 weeks, and they followed by a washout period for 4 weeks and repeated the same procedure for another 12 weeks. The results showed that InnoSlim decreased body weight, BMI, and body fat by 0.80 kilograms and 0.3 and 0.23%. I'm going to say that again. 0.80, 0.3, and 0.23%. That may not seem like a lot, but it is. When you're looking at that many weeks and what's happening, you're reducing it. And I know a lot of you guys are looking at this and thinking, oh my gosh, I'm so excited. I want to lose weight. I want my BMI to be better. And I want my body fat to be better. I think I explained this. That's where I felt like I had the best results, were that my stomach and my bottom and my legs looked a lot better because of how it was attaching to everything and how it was implementing everything. It regulated glucose, fat cells, and muscle metabolism, which is really important. So those of you that want to look good, that want to have muscle, that want to look like you looked when you were 16 or 18, in this study, it was able to show that it was able to really help with issues, not just with weight loss, but with muscle. And I know for all you men out there, you don't want to lose weight and not have muscle, and that's not a concern with this particular product. Based on 3,500 calories per 1 pound of fat, weight loss is estimated to be 4 to 5 pounds per month with a typical restricted diet, which was 1,600 milligrams. So I want to say that again. Weight loss was estimated to be 4 to 5 pounds a month if you're eating like 1,600 calories a day. There were other people that, of course, lost a lot more. Some of it was difficult to manage because there were thousands of users, but what they saw is that there was basically this upregulation and the pathways were working and the downregulation. So your inflammation was really going down. And I want to say that again, inflammation was going down. The insulin resistant markers started working better. TNF alpha was working, RBP4, PA1, PAI1, those were all working together. Those are your insulin resistant markers. They started working more effectively, which is so phenomenal to me as a scientist to get people to be able to work more effectively and their bodies to function more appropriately. And I think that's what was so amazing about some of the studies that were done. So in conclusion, this particular product, and this is just a start because again, this formula Sculpt has this in it, but a lot of other ingredients to really help the body. So I am not allowed to say on this call how many calories I think people will lose in a month because I would get in trouble. So I have to be extremely careful what I'm talking about. But I do want I do want you guys to know that in the studies that were conducted that you can share that there was a 42% increase in glucose absorption in the muscles and fat cells. Again, 42% increase in how the body was absorbing glucose in muscles and fat. And I think I really want to point out, it's not attaching to the muscles. So your muscles, for some people, will look even better. I feel like it greatly impacted me. I also used Crush, but I think it helped with my fat metabolism as well as me looking like I'm working out all the time. And I try to work out, 3 to 5 times a day, but when I'm traveling and stuff, it doesn't happen. This was able to really support me through even the periods where I'm not working out. It also helped regulating levels of sugar and fat that we've discussed in the bloodstream. It's because of the pathways and the signaling. They start working better because of what you're giving the body to really support the body. And then really helped again with muscle and fat tissue and regulating that and making sure your metabolism's working right. When your metabolism's working right, your muscles look better. You're able to really burn fat. You're able to really function in a more appropriate way because of the signaling that happens, supporting metabolic wellness. And I think that's important because by looking at the key biomarkers in the studies, in the labs, in mammals, and in people, we were able to see that all these things were observed in vitro and in vivo, so in the lab and in people. And I think that was what was so significant about the clinical trials conducted on this particular ingredient and product. So that's the end of our discussion today.